What's going on, guys? So this is going to be part 6 of the LR-308 build. As you can tell, the gun's disassembled. It's not broken or anything like that. I just ended up taking it apart because I needed to take a look at some things. And there's a couple things I wanted to show you guys. And I was just kind of too lazy to put it back together for the video. And then take it apart. And yeah. So you guys have probably seen in part 5 that the gun is completed. It's ready to go. Everything's done. I've gotten everything I needed to get. It's pretty much set up how it's gonna be. I'm also sure that, especially my subscribers, a lot of you guys have seen the first range trip or first range run video that I made. Uploaded it, I think, Sunday morning. But this Saturday, I had a chance to take it out to the range. Nothing spectacular. Basically, it was just my local range that's down the street, maybe 10 minutes from my house. It's an indoor range. They allow 308 over there, and pretty much instead of making a huge range mission and driving an hour and a half to a 100-yard range to test this out to see if it even functions, that was the main point of even going. We just go down the street, shoot it, and just kind of see how it went, get the scope zeroed on paper at 25 yards. It's only a 25-yard range, but again, the main thing is to see if it would function, because again, I did build this. I didn't have a chance to headspace it, pretty important, but I bought quality components that are within spec, and I felt pretty safe with it, and as you can tell, it didn't blow up, so the headspacing's good. Again, you guys probably saw the video that I posted up. It did shoot. I ran into some issues, which is kind of expected, but nothing too major. You guys can probably tell the mess in the background. It's my reloading stuff. I actually didn't feel like putting it all away to take it out again to start reloading just for the video, just like the gun. It's just gonna be in the background. So sorry about that eyesore. But pretty much it functioned. The gun functioned for the most part. Again, I shot my factory reloads, but I did run into some issues. Again, if you guys watched the video, you guys probably know what I'm already talking about. But I threw in my reloads, and they weren't anything spectacular. It was just something to get it to function. Loaded a medium to low powder, just that was in the safe range, and pretty much just shot it. And the first couple shots, I ran into some issues. I had some feeding issues. I'm not sure if it was short stroking. I'm pretty sure it was, because again, this is a home build. These parts weren't made for each other. There's probably a little extra friction from the parts just starting to get used to each other and starting to wear in together on top of the power spring. And again, I'm using a moderate to light load to start out with. Again, we're just trying to function test it. We're not going for accuracy or max distance or anything like that, but we did have some feeding issues. And then on top of it, I believe on like the 5th round, I ended up getting an AMAX tip broke off during one of the feeding, and it got stuck in one of the lugs where the bolt lugs go into the barrel pretty much, and it ended up jamming up the gun, so I had to take that apart. Immediately after that, I had a round that failed to extract. The bolt pretty much tore the case head off, so the case got stuck in the rifle. So again, I was using my reloads to kind of figure out what the problems were. You kind of have to do the process of elimination, so I decided to take my reloads out of the equation, and we ended up getting some range loads. My cousin actually started shooting those. I just stuck to my reloads, but I let him shoot the factory reloads, and it ended up functioning fine with all his loads. So that was fine. So we figured, okay, let's try the reloads and see if maybe it's just my reloading process or something I did kind of fucked up. So we ended up throwing the reloads back in, and from then on it ended up functioning fine. So basically the rifle is in working condition. It functions as it should now. I was kind of expecting a break-in period. pretty sure I'm going to have a couple more issues. The parts need to kind of wear in together. They should be within specs, but I'm sure there's a couple higher friction points than there should be. Again, on top of the power spring, so if you have friction on top of the power spring, with my light loads, it's just kind of a mixture of combination, just asking to have issues. But again, it functioned for the rest of the range trip. I believe we shot about, I think it was about 50 to 60 rounds total. So it did what it needed to do. Again, I wanted to keep it disassembled to show you guys. Again, you guys probably know if you guys watch the rest of the series that I'm running a wooden block, and this is pretty much what it is. This is to allow me to use a carbine spring inside the A2 tube to keep the compression ratio up and keep it from allowing the bolt to over travel. I measured this out. I thought it was around 2 inches. It's actually not. It's kind of funny because it's the exact overall length of the 308 case itself. I measured this out and it's going to be 2.8 inches. So again, if you guys want to replicate this, 2.8 inches is what works for me. Again, start long and kind of sand it down, work your way down. It's better to start off long than be short and overstroke and then possibly damage your receiver. But mine, once it is done and that is in functioning form, my dowel, my wooden dowel that sits in the A2 tube to allow the carbine spring to work with it, carbine spring and buffer, it is 2.8 inches. So if you want to replicate that, that's the measurement for it. Again, it functioned fine. The only reason why I'm bringing this up is, I don't know if you guys can see it, this is pretty cheap wood. Again, it's just like a prototype. We're just trying to work on it. You can see it's starting to crack a little bit. This is a pretty old, this piece of wood's been outside probably for a year and a half, and it was pretty cheap wood to begin with. You guys see the hairline cracks. Won't focus. Oh, there we go. You guys can kind of see the cracks. There's one right there where my thumb's at. There's another one where my finger's at right there. There you go. You can see the 3 cracks right there. Another one right there. Another one right there. But yeah, this thing's pretty much starting to crack. It's cheap ass wood. I wasn't expecting it to last forever. I'm trying to look into getting PVC. I was thinking of metal, but it's pretty heavy. I don't need that much weight. Thinking of either investing in thicker wood, but wood's fibers, and it's going to be beating against this, which is with the grain. You don't want that. You want it, the strong point of wood is to compress it from the sides, not, again, it's got fibers so they can split. Not the strongest point of wood, that's actually the weakest point of wood. But that right there is going to be an issue. I don't know if I'm going to go with PVC or go with just a stronger piece of wood, but it functioned fine. Besides the cracks, again, this is old ass wood. It's been outside. I'm sure wood will do just fine. Again, I'm probably going to try wood if that starts to crack again. I'll try better wood. If that starts to crack, I'm probably going to end up going over to PVC or something a little bit stronger. I don't know if you guys can see. I'll show you guys my reloading components. I'm using IMR 4895. I'm using Hornady 168 grain AMAXs, and then CCI primers in Lake City or Federal Brass. So if you guys are wondering about what my load was, I'm not going to give you guys my powder numbers because you don't need to be copying my powder numbers. Go through the proper process and work your way up. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be part 6, just the update. Again, the rifle's fine. It's doing great. I guess I'll just put it together since I showed you guys the dowel. Actually, no, I'm gonna leave it apart because I gotta clean it anyway. But so I went through about 50 rounds. Besides the first maybe about 5 or 6 rounds, everything was great. Especially with the factory ammunition. Everything went pretty good. So that's gonna be it of the LR-308 build. I'll probably have some more video. I'm looking to make this my match rifle. I'm gonna be doing California Precision Rifle Club matches, and I'll probably end up with some videos pretty soon of that. So don't think this is the last of the LR-308 you guys are going to see, because it's definitely going to be around and be on the channel more. So that's gonna be it. Oh, the other thing too is I kind of want to apologize for me sounding like I was on speed or crack on the last video. I accidentally shot it in 120p or 120 frames per second, which is slow-mo because I film from my iPhone. I shot this in slow-mo, which pretty much has a faster frame rate. So if you run it at normal speed, the audio and the video is a little bit more sped up than normal video. So it kind of sped me up a little bit. And you can also tell it's a little grainy. But yeah. So again, that's going to be the LR-308 project build. And that's pretty much going to be it. So check it out and keep looking for this to come up. Again, I'm going to be shooting videos of this up pretty soon. And I'll see you guys around.